And welcome to our first in our series of menopause webinars, which we're really excited to be able to do. As a healthcare company, we've been wanting to offer menopause support for a long time, and we're really excited to be able to do that now. And that is in large part thanks to the lovely Jo Cox, who is here today. She's our nurse manager. And she's been a nurse for 20 years, and she is so passionate about menopause support and making sure women get support that works for them. And she's just a great person to listen to talk about menopause. So good morning or good afternoon, Jo.
Afternoon, everyone.
And we also have the lovely Marva Williams. Marva founded Shhh Menopause Wellness, which is a website that offers lots of products to help support women with menopause. She has pop-ups in John Lewis, and she's also incredibly passionate about helping women through the menopause and dealing with some of those tricky symptoms. So good afternoon, Marva.
Good afternoon, guys.
And today we're talking about holistic menopause support and finding balance between clinical and complementary therapies. So firstly, if I can come to you, Jo, could you talk to us a bit about how you see clinical and complementary therapies working together to help support women through menopause?
Of course. So obviously with the menopause, it's a subject that wasn't as taboo as it used to be, but obviously it's a hot potato subject now and so important to women. And as Alice has quite rightly said, something that I just feel so passionate that people should be able to access as much information that they can to make an informed decision. Everyone's menopause journey will be completely tailored to themselves, completely individual. Some people won't get any symptoms and sail through it without even hardly noticing it, and other ladies can really suffer with many different symptoms. And like I said, it's just a really individual journey that you're going to go through, potentially go through. So what was really unique to us and All Health Matters is supporting you in a clinical format, which is quite traditional, with HRT, blood tests, screening services, and just looking after you on the medical aspect of your journey. But it's so important that that's not the be all and end all to the menopause and treating the menopause. So we've come together to produce an amazing team with different people and different aspects that they can help and support women through their journey. And they include a lovely Marva, which she'll be able to explain more in details with her products, a nutritionist, because diet's so important, and Pilates and yoga, so exercise also really important, and then just the mental health aspect of menopause. So we've got some counsellors, hypnotherapy, just a wealth of knowledge to be able to support the woman and the ladies going through their menopause journey.
That's great, thank you, Jo. Yeah, I think that what you said there about everyone being so different is the key, really, isn't it? And that's been the driving factor behind this. And you know, everyone sits somewhere on that scale of preferring sort of more clinical side of things and preferring non-clinical stuff, and some people like a mix of both. So it's really nice to be able to talk about and offer all those different strategies, because HRT is the big headline one, isn't it? But there's so many other things that can support menopause, and I think those are less known about. So it's really important and exciting to be able to help people understand that. So yeah, like Jo said, Marva, could you tell us a bit more about the products that you offer and how they can help support women through menopause?
Okay, what we do is we support women through menopause holistically, but we also support the traditional as well. So we work with women that are on HRT that may have lingering symptoms. So when I say a lingering symptom, it could be as simple as their skin is extremely dry. It could be they're getting hormonal acne or rosacea. It could be, although a lot of the problems are sorted, they're still having joint issues. So we try and support women. So if they're on HRT, we will support them with products that could assist them. If they can't take HRT, we try and work a holistic route with them as well.
That's really lovely, you know, supporting that woman, you know, wherever she is in that journey and whatever route she's chosen or been able to take. And what kind of feedback, still to you, Marva, have you received from women who've used your products, and how have their experiences been?
Well, the feedback we receive from women has been, for them, a lot of it is life changing. We have customers telling us about they could barely feel like they could get out of bed. Now they're getting out of bed. I had one woman send me a message a few weeks ago saying that her joints were hurting her so much. She was on HRT, her joints were hurting her so much. She was in a lot of pain. Now she's using our relieving spray. She's able to run. You know, to be honest, we get so many testimonials from people that just come in just because, you know, they're happy with it. You know, I've got women that were on sleeping tablets and now they're saying they don't have to take the sleeping tablets because now they can sleep at night. You know, the products are designed to support women. We do not make medical claims. We're using evidence-based based on the essential oils that we actually use. We are very into, or especially myself, I'm very into essential oils and how the terpenes work within the essential oils to get the products to actually work. And I'm very big on, and sorry, all I was going to say is I'm very big on transdermal because of my own issues. I can't take magnesium orally, it makes me ill. And I can't also uptake enough of the magnesium because I've got a wheat and dairy intolerance. So transdermal, I'm personally a big fan of, which I know with some HRT, when you rub the gel or you've got the patch on, it's all going transdermally into the body. So I'm a big fan of transdermally.
Oh, that's really interesting. I didn't know that was a thing.
I can support Marva's products because I've actually used the Sleep Easy one. I was suffering really bad with insomnia and sleep issues, and came across Marva and her products, and I can completely 100% endorse the Sleep Easy. It's a game changer and it smells beautiful.
It's good that it smells beautiful too, but amazing that it's helping so well, Jo. And Jo, I mean, from your perspective, we are, as All Health Matters, offering the menopause consultations now. And how do you approach that sort of more clinical side of the menopause consultations, and what kind of support can women expect to receive if they were to come to you?
So at the moment we're running the bronze and the silver screening. They are a service that again would be tailored to the individual lady. So the bronze would be just taking a history. It's just really important, like we've mentioned previously, about ladies having such an individual journey, individual symptoms. So what it would be doing is just taking some history, and we use like a symptom questionnaire. We go through, which we can add on later. It's really important to document and inquire what symptoms the ladies are experiencing, and whether it's to do with their mental health or their physical health, or just their menstrual cycle and their emotions. It's just really important to gauge what the symptoms they're experiencing. Then we would recommend maybe just a very basic hormonal blood test. Now, the hormone blood test can vary constantly. So you could have a blood test in the morning and by the evening the hormone levels are slightly different, but it does give someone a baseline. So if they have got lots of symptoms and their blood test is slightly out of limitations, then there's an indication that there potentially is that there's a perimenopausal or a menopausal state. So it's a good idea to get a baseline blood test. And again, just taking history and family history. And then with them results, they can either continue the journey with us or go back to their NHS GP. The silver, very similar, but it's a service that includes a much more comprehensive blood test. So then we're ruling out any other ill health that may be causing very similar symptoms to the menopause. So has a lady got a problem with a thyroid or diabetes or cholesterol? They just check the liver function, just a general health. So it's a really thorough general health blood test plus the hormones. So then again, it gives us a little bit more information along with the history, what the lady's telling us, the symptoms, as to whether potentially perimenopausal or menopausal is something that maybe she's experiencing. Blood test doesn't always indicate that HRT is necessary or not necessary, depending on a further consultation, again, back with your NHS GP, or following on with our other services with our doctor, then we can work out whether HRT is something suitable for that individual. And if not, the whole point of this new amazing service with the team that we're going to work with is you don't have to pursue with HRT. We've got other avenues that we can assess with you and put you in the right direction, and we can support you in a holistic manner.
Yeah, you said I mean, lots of interesting things there, Jo, but I think the blood tests can be a bit of a divisive topic, can't they? I mean, I see so many social media posts championing hormone blood tests, and so many saying, oh, they're not necessary at all. And again, I think it comes down to this whole balance thing, doesn't it? Which is what we're talking about. I mean, a blood test isn't going to say you are in perimenopause, but it's another piece of the puzzle. And it's I think there are women out there who are looking for that piece of the puzzle, and being able to offer that is really helpful. And the HRT thing, again, another bit of a hot potato, like you said earlier. Again, just that word balance, isn't it? It's about finding that balance between what you need and what you want, because you might get recommended HRT but not actually want it, and that's where all these complementary therapies come in to try all of that stuff. Marva, what advice do you have for women who are considering using complementary therapies to manage their menopause symptoms? And how can they find safe and effective products? Because there's a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon, aren't there?
There are a lot of products I'm seeing coming out all the time. What I always say to people is do the research. One thing I always tell people is you have to recognise your symptoms. You have to understand what you're going through. And everybody talks about the hot flashes and the night sweats and sleeplessness. The symptoms I tend to talk to people about, because sometimes, you know, I'm talking to women and I'll say to them, do you have ringing ear? Do you have burning tongue? These are all menopause symptoms. Do you have, you know, aches when you get up in the morning? Is it taking you slightly longer to get out of bed? You know, there's so many different symptoms. And once you understand what the symptom is, you can advise people. So for me, it's trying to really get to the core of what their issue actually is. And sometimes they still have the night sweats and other things, but it's the other symptoms. Like I've got women, they itch a lot because they feel like a woman was telling me a couple of weeks ago, when she washes her hair, she feels like she wants to rip her hair out. She's scratching so much. These are all menopausal symptoms, you know, even, you know, when your hair starts thinning, they're all menopausal symptoms. So it's working with women, understanding their symptoms, and then finding the best solutions for them. And as Jo said, it could be yoga, it could be any myriad of things. So HRT, yes, it will cover a lot of things, but it doesn't cover things like thinning hair. You know, which a lot of women, and I'm only going women talk to me about, they are very concerned when their hair starts thinning, especially when they see clumps coming out in their hairbrushes. So it's really understanding, and it is a personal journey. And the reason I say it's a personal journey, there are so many different symptoms of menopause. Some of them are very not talked about, or people don't even realise it's a menopause symptom. What I try and do is get women on track and say, look, this is a personal journey. Nobody has exactly the same symptoms. And also your symptoms can change during the journey. So you may start off with the hot sweats and then it may turn into something completely different. So it's not that because these are your symptoms today, that they're going to be your symptoms always. And it's always also getting women to understand, which I think is the most important thing, is after those 12 months, when you don't have your cycle anymore, it's not all gone, because once, as Jo knows, being a nurse, once your estrogen and progesterone is gone, as I put it, it's never coming back. So then you need to go into what I call protective mode to make sure your joints are protected, because, you know, as women, we're more prone things to you know, brittle bones, osteoarthritis and things like that, because we've lost that protection on our body. So for me, it's not, okay, you're out the other side of menopause, it's all singing and dancing again. It is, how do you protect the body now for the rest of your life, to make sure you're either on the right supplements or you're doing the right things for you personally for the rest of your life.
So it's I mean, you've both now talked about symptoms, and Jo, you said it, you know, you're taking a history and doing the symptom checker. Marva, you're also quizzing your customers, your ladies, on symptoms, and so it sounds like the advice is pay attention to your body, like monitor those symptoms and be aware of what the symptoms are, because like you said, Marva, there are so many other symptoms aside from the headline hot flushes and you know, trouble sleeping and all the mood stuff. There are, that the list is huge. And like you mentioned, Jo, ruling out other issues, sometimes it can be hard to sort of pin down whether these symptoms are related to menopause or whether there's something else going on. And that's where it seems to me all these things can come together to help you manage the symptoms and get a bit more clarity over whether it is likely to be menopause. And while you're finding that out, all these different strategies can help you, from the exercise to the nutrition, to the supplements and the other products. So coming back to you, Jo, just back onto the HRT thing, because it is a big topic at the moment, especially with the prepayment stuff coming out. How do you address the concerns of women who are a bit hesitant about HRT, because it has had some bad press in the past?
Absolutely. So actually, there's only 12% of the women in the UK taking HRT, which actually, when you think about the amount of women in the UK at perimenopause or menopausal stage, that's quite a small amount. And that usually has been indicative from past research. So there was a research paper in the 90s, then 2002, and then again in 2003 that gave HRT quite bad press. There was a concern that there was a link with breast cancer and quite an array of other symptoms that these ladies potentially were experiencing from taking HRT. So the key thing is, as we've already discussed, is everyone is very individual. Some people could take some paracetamol and have an adverse reaction and experience very different symptoms and side effects to someone else taking paracetamol. So obviously, again, back to being the individual and as if it's suitable for them. And again, the thing that we would be is that we're not a company pushing HRT. What we're doing is just helping that lady to make some informed decisions. Information is key. It makes you empowered, and it will help you along your menopause journey. So actually, there are benefits of HRT that are never discussed. So if you take HRT at the right time of your life, it can have health benefits, and it can prevent diseases such as diabetes, cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, which Marva mentioned earlier, and dementia. So if it's given to the right person on the right stage of their life, it has actual massive health benefits going forward as they get older. The research papers in the last 10 years have almost been dismissed. They were based on older ladies that had already gone through the HRT, who were obese and fitted the guidance of, unfortunately, being slightly higher risk of breast cancer. So as a company, we would always look at the information that's coming out. There's some that's come out more recently in the last week or so. It's something that would, again, be tailored to the individual's needs, making sure it's suitable. So again, key information is making them symptoms, listing past medical history for that individual lady. Is the HRT suitable for her or not? Is there a relevant medical history in the family? That's really key as well. So HRT is not suitable for everyone, and therefore that's why we wanted to bring this screening package and these great team of people that we can support for the people that may not be suitable for HRT. More importantly for us is actually providing information so ladies can make an informed decision and feel confident in making that decision potentially to have HRT, and just discuss the benefits and making sure it's tailored to their needs, because HRT could be life-changing for some ladies that are really struggling at this time in their life.
That's great. I think I read somewhere the those studies that you mentioned were based on an old form of HRT, and it's a different one that's much in use now. So
there's a huge amounts of different HRT out there. It was an older HRT that's come along significantly with lots of options. There's still some on the market that as a company we probably wouldn't recommend either. But again, it's all making sure it's tailored to that individual needs and making sure that it's suitable and given in safe dosages in a safe environment and prescribed suitably.
Amazing. So Marva,
can I just add one thing? Sorry, to what you said. Sorry, because I think it's really important. I think services like what you're offering is so important, because the amount of women that I'm speaking to that come and see me and say they started HRT and they've never had a follow-up consultation. The doctors are too busy, they can't get in. It's really important, especially on the early months of HRT, that you do have a service like yours so you can get it checked. So if the dosage needs to be adjusted, it can be adjusted for women, because I have spoken to women and they say to me, oh, the HRT doesn't work. And I do say, have you had, you know, a follow-up consultation? They say they can't get in to see their doctor to get the follow-up consultation. And it could mean just a tweak or two, and continuing could actually get it to work. So, you know, that extra bit of service is so important to women.
Well, thank you for that, Marva. I was just going to say, actually, have you worked with any women who've sought out that clinical side of things? So it sounds like you have. Yeah. So, I mean, we're getting towards the end of our half an hour now. Just to wrap up, have you got any final thoughts, Marva, on how clinical treatments can complement the complementary therapies and vice versa?
I think clinical treatments, I always tell with people, you must see your doctor or go and, you know, see your local GP or, you know, a service similar to yourself. Once you understand what your symptoms are, and if you do go clinically, we can then work with any lingering symptoms that you actually have at that point. And it's the lingering symptoms that we will then sit and work with a woman. So I think it's really important that, you know, ladies do get to see seek for, you know, some form of medical advice. And then once we know what the lingering symptoms are, it's then targeting those lingering symptoms, because, you know, we all want a better quality of life as we get older and we're all living longer.
And can you tell us just a little bit more about some of the products that you do offer and what they can help with?
We offer products that can help with everything from supplements for the skin, hair and nails, to which, you know, supports stopping the hair thinning, the nails unbreaking, the skin drying out. We also support it with products for joint pain, and brain fog, anti-anxiety, but they're all, you know, holistic, using the essential oils. And we also do the sleep range of products, which assist people to get a better night of sleep. So we've tried, and we've got other products coming out as well. But what I try and do is listen to what people are asking for and segment it, and then work on developing products to try and hit what the customer needs.
That's
And
really
what
good.
just so you all know, we make everything in small batches, but what's most important to me is anything that we develop and make, it has to perform. I'm very into performance products.
Excellent. Good to hear. And Jo, any final thoughts from you?
I think the only thing I would add is that, as we all know, there's a wealth of information up there, lots of information, bit of mistrust with some of the information, but lots of access. There's many celebrities bouncing around with books and CDs and podcasts. Some of it, again, completely would be useful for the individual ladies, but what's really exciting about what we're able to offer here is a holistic journey for a lady that's tailored to her needs. So I'm really excited to be involved with some very special people.
Excellent. So Marva, do you just want to do a little plug of your socials and your website? How can people find you?
Anything that we're doing and what we're working with, it's www.shhh with 4 H's menopausewellness.com. We've got a wealth of information on there. Even if you don't want to buy product, we are researching, developing ebooks all the time that are free to download, very informative. So even if you just want information, because I'm an information junkie, I want to know as much as I can. And if we can impart some of that information onto people, that's what I want to achieve. And it gives people a better, when they want to go to a doctor or a nurse, to be able to say, these are what it is, this is what I'm going through. And that's what I'm big on, is understanding the changes of your body.
Excellent, thank you. And Jo, do you want to give our menopause services a plug, and how can people get in contact?
So we've got currently the bronze and the silver screening, which involves history taking, symptom taking and blood tests. And the silver screening is the one that involves more of a health and well-being blood test as well. We have access to a team of people working with, and hopefully we're going to do some other future webinars so we can introduce everyone else as well. And it's All Health Matters. Alice, I'll give you the address for the website.
allhealthmatters.co.uk/wellness clinics to get to the menopause stuff. Or you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and they've all got links to the website. Excellent. So we have recorded this webinar, so you can catch up with it again if you want to rewatch any bits or share it with someone else that might be interested. I think that is us. So thank you everyone so much for joining us this afternoon. Thank you Marva and Jo for speaking so eloquently and so passionately about menopause support. It's been really lovely hearing from you both. And like Jo said, we are planning to do a series of these, so watch our socials and we'll send you the details of the next one. Thank you everybody, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.